Welcome to our Facebook Live. We do this every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, and we are happy that you are here. But I want to hear from you. Don't just watch this like a podcast or watch this like a TV show. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to have a discussion, and your input can be very valuable to other women that are struggling with the same thing that maybe we're talking about. So I want to make sure that you and I are having a discourse every single time that we're doing a Facebook Live. We are also getting ready to do a 5-day challenge, and a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about will be coming out of that 5-day challenge. But if you want to be a part of the 5-day challenge with where we're going to be going through how to control your thoughts and emotions, we're going to be explaining how to be a part of that later on. Now, what I want to talk about this week is being intentional versus being reactive. And oh my gosh, I can't give you there's so many stories. As a mom, if any of you are moms out there, you know what the difference is about being intentional and about being reactive. Meaning, when we prepare for something and we're intentional about something, a lot of times that helps us from just crisis management. And I remember back when when I had 2 small children and a house full of people, that if my Sunday evenings, if I was not intentional with my Sundays, mainly the latter part of my Sunday from like 1 p.m. on, if I was not intentional with food prep and laundry and all those things that get sent home that you have to sign, and writing checks out for picture day, and all these different things. If I was not intentional with my Sunday afternoons and early evenings, the rest of the week was a disaster. I had everything planned out for the kids. I sat down after I put the kids to bed, and I would be intentional about what I needed to accomplish for my week work-wise, and I would put all those different things on different days. So I was intentional about setting myself up for my week instead of just being reactive. So that's kind of when I was raising kids. But even now as an empty nester, quote unquote, I have to be very, very careful and stay intentional, because sometimes I don't have anything planned, and that can be as crazy as if I've got too much planned. And my personality, I love doing things. So if all of a sudden I've got an entire weekend where I don't have anything planned, that's not fun for me. And so being intentional at this stage of my life, I make sure that I have time for my social time. I make sure I have time for my work. I have time for my husband. I make time for my kids. I have everything still. I'm very intentional with when I get things done. So, and just again, I want to hear from you. What stories? Tell me what situations where you left something, you weren't intentional, you didn't plan it out, and everything was just a shit show. And it just all fell apart. So again, being intentional means that you have to have a plan. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about in the 5-day challenge. I really hope you join us in this 5-day challenge, because we're going to go through some really key information of all sorts of things that are going to help protect your joy. And again, that is my passion. My passion is to help you protect your joy. And if you're just running around being pulled in 15 different directions, you will not have joy. It's impossible, especially when the people that are pulling you in 5 different directions are people you care about. Your kids, your friends, your family. If they're all pulling you in all these different directions, you feel like you have to provide for all of them and make them all happy. And you've got to understand that you've got to be happy first. You can't keep pouring in to everybody else when you're an empty vessel. When you are an empty vessel, you are not the person you want to be. You're not the mom you want to be. You're not the wife you want to be. You're not the friend you want to be, because you are spent. And I say this all the time. We wake up every single morning with a certain amount of emotional currency. Just think of it like money. We wake up every single day with a certain amount of emotional currency. We have to be uber careful of how we spend it. Think about it as dollars. What are you spending that your emotional currency is probably more valuable. It is more valuable to me, and it should be more valuable to you than the actual dollar currency. You can always make more money. You can't make more time. We get 24 hours in a day. We have so many days that were allotted for our life. We have no idea how many days those are. You can't get back a wasted hour. You can't get back a wasted day. So our emotional currency is more valuable than dollar currency. So be ultra careful of how you spend that currency. Be ultra careful that you're just not answering yes. That's one of the things that when I coach women, the first thing that I have to do is teach them how to say no to things that don't matter, things that aren't relevant, things that are a waste of time. You know, it's a waste of time, ladies and guys, that most women are in charge of doing the laundry for a whole family, which it shouldn't be that way. Change it. It should be equal. You do it one week, he does it another. Or take it by month. I do it this month, you do it next month. But one of the biggest things that I have to get women to understand is stop filling the day with things that don't matter. Socks. Why do folding socks matter? I know some of my analytical friends that are watching right now are like, oh, you can't have mismatched socks. Yeah, you can. If they're kids, who cares? If it's that important to them to have matching socks, then they can dig through and find the two that match. Bottom line, there was a certain point I stopped folding socks. They all just went into a bin. Same thing with underwear. All went into a bin, and they put away the rest of the clothes. Stop doing things that don't matter. Stop filling up your day. Stop saying yes to things that aren't important to your life. Just because someone asks you to do something doesn't mean you have to say yes. Boundaries are really important. And that's another thing we're going to be showing you in the 5-day challenge is how to set boundaries and why they're valuable to have. So again, y'all, I just wanted to spend a few moments with you talking about intentionality versus being reactive. I want you to go through this week being intentional with your time, planning out your day, and stop reacting. When someone says, can you do this? Stop just being reactive and saying yes. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with your emotions and be intentional with the people in your life. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.